Hi boys and girls. This week we are going to be focusing on a new way to organize data or information. It's called a stem and a leaf plot. Stem and leaf plot. So let's get started. Today is just going to be introduction, and we're going to learn some new ways and keywords and vocabulary and practice some questions at the end. And that's it for today. And then the rest of the week, we're going to get more into the nitty-gritty. So let's get started with our study jam. Let's go.
Zoe is having a party at the end of March. She wants to see how the weather's shaping up. She's a very visual gal, so I thought a stem and leaf plot would be a slam dunk way for her to graph it out. Let me show you how it's done, step by step. First, make a list of the temperatures in order from least to greatest.
One thing we've been learning with our dot plot and our frequency table is it's always a good idea to organize your information first before you put it into the frequency table or a dot plot or even a stem and leaf. So they have organized in least to greatest order.
In 15 days, the temperature has swung from the 40s to the 80s.
Okay, so she has enough data to cover 15 days worth of
find
temps.
the stems. The stems are the digits in the tens place of each number.
Okay, so think of a tree. A tree has a trunk, which is the largest part of the tree. Then it has the branches, and the branches have stems, and the stems have the leaves. So think of the stem and the leaf being the smallest part of the tree, and the leaf being the smallest part of the tree, and the stem being greater or having a greater value than the stem. Make that connection.
See how each number has two digits? The first one, the tens digit, that's the stem. Even if more than one number has the same stem, only include a stem once.
Okay, so the stems we include one time. Let's see how that's done.
Put the stems in a column. Write the stems on the left side of the vertical line. Fine. We've got four stems of temperatures: the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and the 80s. When you're listing out the stems, you've got to go in order. Even though there were no days in the 70s, it should still be included in the chart.
Okay, so make sure you remember that.
Next, list the leaves next to the correct stem in order from least to greatest.
Again.
Don't forget to list every leaf, even if a number repeats.
Okay, so the stems are organized horizontally in order from least to greatest, and the leaves are going to go horizontally in least to greatest order. So let's see how that's done.
Write out each leaf next to its stem, left to right, smallest first. The 40 stem only has one leaf. That's good news.
Okay, so we're going to practice reading these, just a few of them, not all of them, but let's practice. So if this is a tens place, that would be 4 tens and 9 ones. And when you put that together, we would read this number as 49. Okay, let's read this next row. 55, 56, 57, 59. And let's go down to our last row. 80, 81, 81. All right, good job.
Don't forget to add an eye-catching title.
All right, let's show you how to do your
Temperatures for
title.
the first half of March.
All right, so that is how to make a stem and leaf plot. But here's a watch out. Let's listen to this.
Be careful when you try to use a stem and leaf plot for 3-digit numbers or higher. To do it right, list only the last digit, the number in the ones place, as your leaves. List all the other digits under stem.
Okay. All right, now let's try some examples. We
How
have
many
two.
numbers are on this stem and leaf plot?
Okay, so he's just asking how many numbers are on the stem and leaf plot. So we can see that we have the stems. We have 2 tens, 3 tens, and 5 tens. And how many leaves do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we actually have 14 numbers represented on this
That's
plot.
a slam dunk. There are 14 leaves, and when each leaf gets paired up with its correct stem, that makes 14 numbers.
Good job. Next example.
What's the first number listed on this stem and leaf plot?
Okay, let's go up to the stems column, and our first stem is a 2, and the first leaf is a 2, and you put those together, you get 22. So our first number represented is 22, and our last number would be 5 in the stem's place, 9 in the leaf's place. Put that together, and it's 59. But the question is, which number is first? So
Nothing
it is
but
A.
net.
Yes.
22 is the correct answer because the first stem is 2 and the first leaf is 2. Put them together and you get 22.
All right, good job. Okay, we're going to close this. We're going to go back here and we're going to test ourselves, and we're going to do this together since this is your introductory day. So you won't really have any questions to answer other than do these with me, okay? So we're going to look for the smallest or the least value number that's represented for this stem and leaf plot. So our answer choices are 34, 3, 37, and 5. So remember, the stem is the greater place value and the leaf is the least place value. So we know that these numbers that we're looking for have to have at least 2 digits. So we can eliminate the 3 and the 5. So we're looking for the least value. So we have 3 10s, 4 1s. That's 34, 37. So our least value is 34. Next question. What is the largest or the greatest value represented in this stem and leaf plot? So it's the opposite. So we're going to go down our stem column, and the greatest stem we have is 9. And the greatest leaf we have is an 8. You put that together, you have 98. 9 10s, 8 1s, 98. So our greatest value is 98. Okay. Which place value is never represented in the stem column? So remember, leaves are the least place value position, and the stem are all the other place value positions. So think about this. Tens, hundreds, thousands, or the ones. Which one can never be a stem? And we're going to say the ones place because it would be the leaf. It would have to be the leaf in whole numbers. Okay, this one's a little hard to see. It says, which stem and leaf plot correctly shows this set of numbers 63, 67, 72, 93, and 92. So we have 5 numbers represented. We have 60s, we have the 70s, and the 90s. But if you remember back at the beginning of the video when he created the stem and leaf plot, we had to include the value between the 7 10s and the 9 10s, which would be 8 10s. Even though we don't have a number in the 80s, we still have to include it. So we can see that they did include the 8 10s on the first graph. However, they put a 0 as the leaf. So if they put a 0 as a leaf, they're saying that we have the number 80 represented in our data. And we do not have an 80 here, so we can eliminate this answer choice. We can also eliminate the next answer choice because they don't have the 8. Remember, it's supposed to be in order and even the missing digit. So if we have 6, 7, what comes after 7? 8. So we have to include it, and they did not. And again, look at the last one. Did they include the 8? No. But this one did. So do we have 63? Check. 67? Check. Do we have 72? Check. Do we have 92 and 93? Check, check. And do we have the 8? That shows us that we do not have a value in the 80s. So our answer choice is this one. All right, number 5. How many numbers in this stem and leaf plot have a 3 in the tens place? a 3 in the tens place. So would that be in your stem column or your leaf column? So your tens are greater than your ones, so it's going to be our stem column. So let's look for the 3 in the stem column, and let's count how many leaves we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 numbers, 32, 33, 34, 37, and 38. That makes a total of 5 numbers that have a 3 in the tens place. We have 2 more questions. This stem and leaf plot shows the grades that the students received on a math quiz. How many students in the class scored at least a 92% on their test? So that means if they scored at least a 92%, anything under 92 is no go. Anything 92 or higher is going to answer the question. Because if I make a 95, guess what? I made at least a 92. So let's go to our 9 stem, and we're going to count everything above 92 and above. So we can't include 90 because that's less. 92 is at least. 94, 96, 98, 99. And what do you think this funny number is? If we put all those digits together, you would have 100. So how many students scored at least a 92% on their math quiz? 6. Good. And our last question. The stem and leaf plot shows the high temperatures in September. On how many days was it at least 65 degrees? So just like the last one, this means anything that's 65 or greater is going to answer this question. It's in the range. So anything that's below less than 65, no bueno. So we're going to go to the what stem? We're going to go to the 6 stem, and we're going to look for this 5, the leaf that has a 5, which is right here. We're going to count that one and any leaves that are greater than that. Okay, so that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 65, 68, 68, 72. That's 4. We cannot include 60 or 61 because that is less than 65. So we have a total of 4 temperatures that are at least 65 degrees. And there's our score. We made 100%. Okay, boys and girls, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you back tomorrow where we're going to dig in deeper. If you need more help, rewatch this video as many times as you need to. Have a wonderful day.